members of the board, our one guest who joined us today through the snowstorm, so I appreciate everyone's attendance. And Happy New Year to everybody as we do enter into our first board meeting of 2024. The members of our police service did again actively serve this community with integrity and authenticity throughout the Christmas and holiday season. And I'm happy to say that all of our members came through that period healthy and better for it. I'll begin off today with sort of the headline of the news that's been moving through our community. Obviously the board, myself, and I'm sure members of council have received several emails, phone calls, and conversations around the announcement of the county's purchase of 310 Division Street for a low barrier shelter and a hub for services. Like I said, I've been asked by many residents about what our stance in this space is. While some argue that low barrier shelters can help reduce the number of interactions between police officers and police people who are experiencing homelessness, there are also concerns that these shelters can increase the number of interactions between police officers and those people who are experiencing homelessness. Ultimately, the impact of low barrier shelters on police service delivery will depend on a multitude of factors, including the location of the shelter, the services that are provided at that actual shelter, and most importantly, the policies that are in place to govern the shelter. High density living, as I've said many times before, brings high density issues, regardless of the socioeconomic capacity of that particular high density living arrangement. But in all cases, they generally result in increased calls for service for a particular area. Collaboration will be critical in supporting residents who may be living rough and helping them get back to permanent living while connecting them to those necessary services and supports. The coordination with other agencies and stakeholders such as local government, social services, healthcare, education, and community organizations must be in place to enhance the effectiveness of our police response. Through MHART and our members, we work very closely with community agencies that provide support and services to vulnerable residents and those residents with complex high acuity needs. Specifically in the case of 310 Division Street, we will continue to be an available partner, address safety concerns, and work to ensure the safety of residents living in or visiting the area, businesses in the area, residential properties in the area, staff, and clients in the facility. Our main focus will not change: the safety of residents and visitors, accountability when the law is broken. In addition to meeting with several residents over the last few weeks, I've also met with the executive director and the board of the chair of transit, the new executive director, I should say, of Transition House, and the board chair. We've had a very fruitful discussion, the deputy and I, and they are, of course, ready to continue collaborating with our team for the best outcomes. The key fact for us, and I've said this before, is the necessity of a clear and binding agreement between all parties. A clear binding agreement that holds accountability where accountability needs to be held. It is not incumbent upon the police service to chase issues of garbage, loitering, or other nuisance behaviors. An agreement as in existence in Whitby, with the upper tier, that being the region of Durham, is a best practice to follow. For interested residents, the county and Transition House are hosting several engagement opportunities in January and February, including an open house. All those details are available on the county website. As the chair indicated, we'd like to provide an update with the community through this report about the new Comprehensive Ontario Police Services Act, which will be in force April 1st, 2024. This act was first acclaimed in 2019 and has taken the last few years to be fleshed out. There are several new adequacy standards and regulations that will be very important for our service to make sure we are meeting, and some will be staged in over the next year or two. This means new requirements for our boards, police services, to ensure we continue to be adequate and effective from a policing standard. The new act outlines obligations for a collaborative community safety well-being plan, which we've spoken about many times at this space and others, and we are well along our way in Northumberland County. The key priorities of homelessness and affordable housing, mental health, poverty, income and employment, and substance use and addiction are the four key themes listed in that plan. Within our act, and the Minister of the Solicitor General, police services are expected to act on those identified priorities outlined in that plan. We must demonstrate actions that move toward the goals and objective of this well-being plan. Our current board strategic plan already aligns with the well-being plan, with our strategic objectives, actively fulfilling obligations by working with MHART and HART. Both of these positions are funded through the Provincial Community Safety and Policing Grant and the local LIN. We are going to continue to prepare for the changeover to this new act. Throughout this year, it will be a steady work in progress. As I indicated in my opening remarks, the Christmas season was busy for our service, but did not get in the way of creating opportunities to create positive partnerships with people in our community. I'm proud to say each year our members continue to give back and running these events and fundraisers to support the local community and local agencies. On December 20th, Shop with a Cop took place. This is an annual member-led initiative that always is a heartwarming day for everybody involved. Special credit goes to Detective Constable McKean, who has stalwartly been in the lead of this particular program since its onset with us, and she again organized this year's event to foster positive connections between youth and the police while allowing select local children and youth to embrace the spirit of giving back to their families. This year, 9 local youth spent the day with 10 Covert police members shopping for Christmas gifts for their family members, something very special for themselves to ensure a memorable Christmas for their family. Generous sponsors and donors, including our police associations, our members, make this thing happen every year. I want to thank everyone, obviously, who makes this event happen every year in a very busy time in December 20th, you will imagine, as everybody's getting ready for the holidays. And as that, we'll continue with the great efforts of our auxiliary members with the monthly Crammer Cruiser. Food drives are back for 2024. This partnership is so strong in our community that it's again, the gift that keeps giving. And on January 27th, we'll be at Metro with Northumberland Fair Share volunteers collecting items to help feed the community. And again, full details are available on our website. It's really interesting when you create space for people to be successful in giving back. How we did this on behalf of Fair Share for so long. Now, you wouldn't be able to do the event without the Fair Share volunteers partnering with our volunteers. It's truly collaborative spirit. And our investigative update for this month. Last week, we ended the week with a welcome update from our criminal investigation branch. The third suspect involved in the West End Beach shooting last August was finally arrested. This brings this case closer to a close with all suspects charged and ready to face the courts. Officers work long hours and face high levels of stress while trying to solve complex cases that cross these multi-jurisdictions. Despite the challenges, their dedication and persistence in this particular case brought all of those people to justice and have restored safety for our residents and others across Ontario. Covert's proximity to the GTA may facilitate the movement and operation of criminal groups and networks, and we need to be ready moving forward for these multi-jurisdictional police investigations and have the ability to continually shift resources to the newest investigation or crime 10 that comes our way. Proper investigations and allocations of these resources also speak to the accountability and transparency of our service, which will influence public trust, legitimacy, and satisfaction with our service delivery. I'll continue to keep the board updated on other investigations in this monthly report as investigations permit. I'd like to close by thanking you for your time once again this month, and I'm happy to take any questions that may exist from the members of the board.
Any questions for the chief on this? Number 2.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the chief. Thank you for the short presentation. With regards to 310, and I appreciate you being clear on, because I've been looking a lot at the town of Whitby and their agreement with Durham Services. Is Corporate Police Services planning on attending and formally submitting any correspondence to County Council through their public engagement or their public meetings in February? Like, does Corporate Police Services participate as a commenting body, or do you feel that your comments and meetings as the chief are being documented and heard as part of the public consultation?
Thank you through the chair to Member Beattie. So I have had some initial conversations with the CAO, Fire Chief, and the Director of Legislative Services. I believe our comments in relation to a program or being a set agreement in place are well-founded at that location. If it pleases the board, we, the service can submit, but we have yet to be consulted on this matter.
A quick follow-up.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. And just a quick follow-up. In my studying of the agreement between Durham and Whitby, I haven't seen any role that their regional police play. Based on your understanding of the agreement, there's no formal role in that agreement of their police services.
That's correct. That's correct.
Member Graham?
Through you, Chair, to the Chief. Just a comment. Thank you for the excellent Chief's update. It is fantastic to see the Shop with a Cop program that's been initiated. It's really great to see our police and the community working so closely together on those initiatives. And just last, a major shout out to your investigative team for the successful apprehension of that third suspect. I know the community was pretty concerned about that, so I know the amount of effort that goes into those projects. Excellent work.
So now the big task of final disclosure is at work. So they're busy in the office getting all the court paperwork ready.
Member Bureau, or Vice Chair Bureau?
Yes, that was an excellent presentation, and congratulations on getting the third guy.